Hello everyone, welcome back. This is RandoGEEK. In this video, I want to talk about the new FCC proposal that would implement a 60-day device unlocking for all carriers. The link for this article can be found down below for you in the description, and it is coming from the T-Mobile report. Now this article has been out for a few days, but I wanted to spin my take on this because this is a subject that I actually feel very strong about. You know, as a consumer before anything else, I buy phones sometimes for the best discounts, right? So I may go to a specific carrier and purchase a phone because that phone is on sale, meaning that I'll sign up for a plan with, say, T-Mobile or Verizon or at&t or whatever carrier. Metro might have a great offer for me at that current time because I want to get a discount on that phone. Now, either it'll be discounted and I'll pay very little, or it might be completely free. In the case of often with Metro by T-Mobile, a lot of free devices with that carrier, right? So a lot of good deals that I've myself taken advantage of. However, you ever get the phone and you're like, after a week of using it with whatever carrier you purchased it from, you just want to put another SIM in and see how those carriers rock on that phone. We're all guilty of it. Anyone watching this has most likely got that in their head that they want to be able to use the phone with multiple carriers. That's more than likely why we get those phones in the first place. Of course, we want the phone because it's obviously a phone of our interest. So this policy here would basically allow consumers to have some of that freedom, right? To purchase a phone and in 60 days, by mandatory requirement from the FCC, allowing consumers to unlock their phone and be able to switch it to another carrier. However, there's a lot of reasons why this wasn't done in the first place, but I do want to be clear. T-Mobile, Verizon, and at&t are already following these procedures. It took a little time for some of them to, abide by this, but they already started doing this. T-Mobile, I think, is 60 days now to unlock your phone. Verizon has been 60 days for quite a bit. And I think at&t is 40 days. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong down below. I was looking up the policy, and I believe at&t's policy is 40 days. But again, if I'm wrong, hit me in the comments because I do want to be corrected. It's constructive criticism. We want to make sure that we have it right. We don't want to spread the wrong word out there to people that are coming on to this video and are looking to get, knowledge. So anyway, this could benefit more than just the big carriers. Even though that's the majority of what consumers use, there are many of us that have been cutting the cord and trying to get away from the large carriers for many different reasons. Could be pricing, could be deals, could be disagreements with the carrier at the time. Maybe we didn't like the way the business is being run and we had problems with them. So we're looking for alternatives. That is the whole purpose of competition, right? So that we have options. So this policy would most likely affect all carriers, even smaller carriers, such as Red Pocket, such as Simple Mobile, all these other little carriers, US Mobile, any of these smaller time carriers that we may have found interest in recently, we'd be able to go ahead and purchase a phone from them if they have a phone that we're interested in. And then after 60 days, we would have the option to unlock it. Now, the big caveat with this is that just because your phone is able to be unlocked, that does not mean you can simply just leave the carrier. There's always going to be some kind of obstacle that we have to hurdle around with carriers, especially the big three, because this is how they make their money. If they just give you a discounted phone, either discounted or completely free, and you only stay there for 60 days, you sign up for a plan, and then you move along to another carrier with their phone, they're not making money. That is why a lot of the times carriers will give you a phone for free, but you have to stay with them for 36 months and pay down the phone first. Then it becomes like free because you get it back in monthly bill credits. That is how they can ensure that you stay with them, that you don't use them for the phone and then leave and go to another service. And some carriers like T-Mobile has been penalizing customers for paying off their phones too quickly because they don't want you to leave. They've just implemented July 1st, T-Mobile, a new rule policy for their bill credits and how that's being adjusted. And I did a video on that. So for anyone that buys a phone now, as of right now, or July 1st and on, you're looking at a different way of doing business. If you've purchased a phone before July 1st and you've paid off that phone and you want to take your unlocked phone and go somewhere else, you can do that. They've allowed it to July 1st. There was some rumors going around that it was earlier. I was going to cover a video on that, but then I did a little more research and I saw that I think the user on Reddit was mistaken, and there was some confusion. So that's not actually what happened. They started the policy on July 1st. Now, we may hear that they did start it a little bit earlier, and it might be confirmed that they really did. With T-Mobile, you never know. Sometimes they don't always follow their own rules. They set rules and they go back on it sometimes. So we gotta be cautious with them. Like I've been saying, they change their minds like they change their underwear. I just gotta be blunt. They really do. So, but with that being said, just because this policy goes into effect doesn't mean we can just grab our phone and just go to another carrier. There's going to be obstacles. Like I said, they're going to find new ways to kind of make it difficult for us to just grab that phone and then bounce in 60 days because they won't make no money that way. They want to lock you in for the certain amount of time that's agreed upon so that you can make your payments and that they can profit off of us. And that is why, this is a good thing. This can be a very good thing for smaller carriers because most likely the phones are going to be a little cheaper, so you can probably afford them, pay them off quicker. You may not be locked in as long with the bill credits option there, or you may simply be able to pay it outright, which is my preferred method of purchasing a phone. I usually try to buy the phone outright. There are so many phones that I don't get. Like, I don't get the biggest flagship phone for that reason. I don't want to be locked into a carrier. I've had 10 plus years ago, I've had a lot of annoyances with carriers being locked in, and it was just not fun. I wanted to leave, and I couldn't break the contract because I owed money on the phone. It was ridiculous. That old way of doing things before basically T-Mobile set the new track record for being the uncarrier. That is when basically the mind frame changed, and it was like, I'm just going to get my plan and I'm going to buy a phone. Even if it's a little bit of a cheaper phone, it's not the best flagship on the market. For me, it makes more sense. Personally, I feel like if you can't afford it, you shouldn't buy it because you don't want to be locked in when these carriers change their minds like they often do. The rules keep changing. It's never the same. Every month we're hearing something new. We talk about it here all the time. You hear it on other channels. This is what's going on. This is how business works. Things change quite rapidly now, especially in 2024, because the businesses are struggling. People are not spending the way they did, and it's a problem for them. They're constantly fiending and looking for new ways to lock consumers in without making it so obvious. So anyway, but I do think this policy would be good, like I said, for some of smaller carriers. It will allow for competition, better competition, because if you do buy the phone from T-Mobile, AT&T, or Verizon, and it's paid off, let's say, I don't know, maybe you bought the phone outright, okay? 60 days, that phone's unlocked. You don't have any bill credits to worry about, nothing. You bought the phone up front. You paid full price, whatever it was, and now you can leave and you can go to, an MVNO, such as US Mobile. Let's say, like, US Mobile is about to drop AT&T, right? This could be really good. This could be a great offer, great service, great price, right? Could be. Maybe you have this phone now that's about to unlock from AT&T. It's paid off. Now you can take that phone and head over to US Mobile, and you can reap the benefits of your nice phone with, a cheaper alternative to what AT&T's plans are, because AT&T service is great, but their plans are bland and a little pricey for what you get for your money. So now if US Mobile is offering the same service or similar service for less money, maybe more perks, people might want to jump ship. And that is why this unlocking, proposal can be good for those reasons. But we can't get it twisted. We can't just think now, okay, they're going to be forced to unlock it, we're going to bounce. You just got to make sure that your phone's paid off, that you don't lock yourself, put yourself in a corner where you're stuck there, and then you can't reap those benefits if you don't have the patience to wait. That's what I'm saying. If you don't have the patience to wait, and you really want to use that phone with another carrier, then you gotta think about your next move. But anyway, this article will be linked down for you. There is a picture of like the office of the chairwoman Jessica Warzen Warsaw. Rosenworcel, how she proposed the agency requirement for mobile providers to unlock customers' mobile phones within 60 days of activation. New unlocking rules would allow consumers the freedom to take their existing phones and switch from one mobile wireless service provider to another more easily, as long as the consumer's phone is compatible with a new provider's wireless network. They're saying on July 18th, there's going to be an open meeting. The commission will vote on a proposed notice of proposed rulemaking on expanding unlocking requirements to establish a clear and uniform set of requirements for all mobile service providers. They're saying that the real competition benefits from transparency and consistency, says Chairwoman Rosenworcel. So this is why she's proposing it. The FCC will be open soon for public comment on the matter with a subsequent vote on July 18th. They want more information on how this impacts financial plans, comparisons from postpaid to prepaid services, even if this will benefit smaller companies like MVNOs. They want to even hear out impacts to device reselling and how an increase of number of phones in the secondary market will be impacted. So that's basically it. There's some more stuff here, but I don't want to drag this video out. I just want to give you the goods, let you know what's going on, and of course, voice my opinion on it, why I think it's good, why I think it will help, the competition, but also we got to be smart about it because, again, the carriers are not going to hurt. These big carriers will not hurt. They will find a way to lock consumers in if you let them. So if you're cool with that, then it's all good. But if you're someone that's against the policies, that you hate that whole having to be locked in for 6 months to 12 months, well, then you got to buy your phone either from the carrier outright or buy it somewhere else. Own your phone, then you have that freedom and flexibility. You can buy the phone unlocked from Amazon, never have to worry about an unlock policy in your life. Or you can buy it from the carrier in full, and then in 60 days, it's unlocked. You still got to wait the 60 days, but that's not that far. It does go by quick. And then, at least you can jump ship, immediately. Chances are if you buy it outright from the carrier, you might get a little bit cheaper than you would, say, buying it from Amazon full price. Maybe just a couple bucks without any bill credits. Chances, not always. But you have to do your, homework, your research, and then you'll be able to find out. But anyway, that's all I have for you. Like I said, don't want to drag this too long. Just give you guys the update and voice my opinion on this new policy, which I think is good. I think 60 days is a valid amount of time for a consumer to decide whether or not they actually want to stick around with the carrier. 60 days is more than enough time to take your phone to work, school, gym, vacation, whatever you do with your phone. Go to different areas, test it out, make sure it's, a legitimate carrier for you if you want to continue to be locked into a service for a certain amount of time. As always, thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.